I gotta go pee. Yeah, I gotta go pee.
Mute your mic.
Hello. I can't hear you, and I can't hear you. I can't hear none of you. You have
All right.
mute.
I'm on mute on purpose because
Oh.
Welcome everybody to this third edition of Gamers Roundtable. I'm Daniel, King Crow on Twitch, Instagram, Steam, on anything. You'll be able to find me on there. I'm being accompanied by Joe, aka I am Synclo, and Quentin, Pawnee Buzz. If you guys want to introduce yourselves and give a little bit of an introduction and let everybody know who you are, that'd be great.
Well, as you know who it is, it's Synclo, Joe. This is the moment of the roundtable, and we actually do have a special guest today.
my name is Puny Buzz.
Puny Buzz.
Yeah, this will be my first time at the round table, so I do appreciate both you guys for letting me join. I can't wait to get into this. It's my first time on a stream like this. You know, I'm a low time streamer, but I put my heart into it when I can. So this right here is something new for me. I'm learning a lot, and I look forward to talking to you guys about some stuff.
All right. Our topic today is going to be Apex Legends. It's a battle royale that has been sweeping the industry, in my opinion, of battle royales. Probably one of the best battle royales out there, and that it's just a great all around great game. Quentin, what's your thoughts on this game and comparative to other battle royales?
To be honest with you, man, my honest opinion on it is it's one of my favorites. It's unfair for me to say if it's the best or if it's not the best because different battle royales all have their own little different things going on here and there now. I haven't touched PUBG in a while, so I can't say much about that. Fortnite has its little thing going on. It's hot. Everybody's still on that. And Apex, a lot of people are going to say Apex was a Fortnite killer, but I don't necessarily think it's a Fortnite killer, whereas it's a strong contender. Um, like I said, right now Apex is my favorite. I'm not much into building, and like I said, that's where that battle royale type of game comes into its own different category because it's a good mix of shooting, battle royale, and building. This one's more focused around fast-paced action. Uh, very, very strong need of teamwork if you want to win, and that's more along the lines of what I like, and I believe what a lot of people like. And right now, I think it's a well-rounded, good game. Still has plenty of more potential ahead of it as long as they keep on to it. Keep grinding for it, making it better. It has all the potential there to be the best if they keep working on it.
Joe, what do you think?
Well, as an avid player of the game, and just finding out about it when I did when it first launched, um, for me to jump right into a game and actually feel something of enjoyment and excitement and the new aspect of like it being a Fortnite killer. What I think is like you hit the nail on the head, Buzz. Is like I'm not a builder either, so that's where like the disconnect for Fortnite is for me. And I know everybody's like, oh, Apex came along trying to kill Fortnite. But honestly, that wasn't, I don't think, even necessarily the attention. I think social media just kind of brought that into the effect of everything and was like, oh, this is the new Fortnite killer when, let's be honest, Fortnite's not going to go down, guys. We all know this.
Yep.
Fortnite isn't going to go down. Apex isn't going to kill it. But one thing I will say about Apex, you're all right. It is all about the teamwork. It's all about the fast-paced gameplay and actually working as a unit and being a team and trying to get that dub, trying to get that win. Like it's not every day you get into a game where you lose and you want to jump right back in and try to get it because like we've had those days where we've played completely great and haven't got the win. We're on the other end of that. Yesterday, it's happened. But overall, as a whole, for the game in itself is a breath of fresh air, as I'd like to say, a breath of fresh air because everything else now is just kind of stale. I haven't really touched PUBG, just like you, Buzz. Bought it, enjoyed it. It took too long, too many problems. Just didn't really run well on the Xbox One. Never was really a Fortnite builder or player. I was decent at it in the beginning, but wasn't really my thing once I didn't realize I didn't know how to build fast enough because at a disadvantage if you're not using a mouse and a keyboard. You're pretty much always at a disadvantage. But overall, for Apex, I think it's just a game that so many people have responded well to, and because they have thrown that, oh, it's the Fortnite killer, it always gets bashed. Everybody's bashing Fortnite. Oh, Apex sucks. Oh, Fortnite sucks. Who cares? Play what you want to play, enjoy what you want to enjoy, and leave it there. I don't know why everybody has to have this big debate on is it the Fortnite killer or isn't it? It's a battle royale. It's a game that came out. A lot of people enjoy it. There's a big community. There's a pro base that's hitting the scene, and it's overall a good game. But I enjoy it very much. Warner, that's just overall my opinion. It's a very good, well-rounded, smooth, game. Yeah, it has its slight issues, but other than that, the game in a whole is very fluent, and every game is different. So it's a top contender for one of the best battle royales. I won't say it's the best. I won't give it that yet because it hasn't given me enough to say it's the best. I want to see more characters, more guns, maybe more maps in the future. Whatever they're gonna do. I know you said that they laid out a year roadmap for the Apex game or something like that, right?
Yes. And that's what our what we'll segue into. They had said that the season pass was coming out. Believe. Let me pull it up here. There it is. They're releasing more tiers. The season pass is going to release in March. March 17th is what it's supposed to be. Which is
birthday present for me, man. Birthday present for me.
included in the first season is going to be the battle pass, a new legend, which from what I'm understanding is going to be Octane, new weapons and new loot. But the first season will run from March to June, and season 2 will run from June to September. Then season 3 will run from September to December.
So basically, they're doing 3-month increments on their DLC.
Let me fix that. It says confident in a March 12th release date for this for the battle pass. So I was wrong. It's not the 15th. It's the 12th.
Yeah, I definitely have enough teammaker, girl.
But going off of the battle pass, with them introducing new weapons and stuff, they rebalanced some of the weapons that are already in. They've rebalanced 2 of the weapons that are already in the game itself, which is the Wingman and the Peacekeeper. They said it's saying that it's pretty much the default for anybody who is higher end in the game, and at first it was just a monster of a weapon, and thankfully they did eliminate some of that damage that it caused. I personally don't like either one of them. How about you guys? Is that whenever you guys are playing, do you guys find yourself trying to find a Wingman or a Peacekeeper in order to win your games, or is that just not something that you guys screw with whenever you're playing?
Me personally, it took me a minute to get used to the Wingman. Yeah, that's definitely one thing about the Wingman is if you're a higher the skill gap. You know, if you're good at the game, you've been playing it, your accuracy's on point, especially on PC. That thing is a monster in the right hands. Especially with the skull piercer attachment.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, you just keep your heads down at that point, for real. But yeah, that thing, I think it needed a little tweaking here and there because the skill gap. You know, that's there for some people. You have the casual players, the new players, then you have the fans, and then you have the diehard, tryhards. I try to get good at the game too as much as I can. You know, when you play, I really gotta enjoy it. But personally, I started getting to the point where long range and medium distance, for me, I wasn't very, too skilled with the Wingman, but up close, I was getting used to it, and I was doing crazy. I was dropping 10+ kills a game. Yeah, I was enjoying it a lot. But then I realized, yeah, but I seen there was something gonna happen to it in the future. So I'm kind of like in the underdog position of guns. You know, I know. Just to throw it out there real quick, the Hemlock isn't the best gun, but I'd like a little bit of a bump up there because
Yeah.
I like underrated guns. I'd like to be able to make them all good in their own way, and I know it's hard to do sometimes, but overall, that gun, I think it needed a little tweaking. It's still a good gun. I think they reduced the fire rate speed just by a hair.
Yeah.
That way you can't shoot as fast. Yeah, so I think it was much needed. I just hope they don't make it too weak. But
Is that what they did?
Yes.
I
No
believe
wonder
so.
why no wonder why the gun is so different in my hands now. Because I sure kind of felt that when I played it and I picked it up yesterday when we were playing Word. Like it was definitely a lot slower on that initiative. Like you
Yep.
know that that
Yeah.
that, that kick or whatever you get with it. You
That
know.
kick, yeah, that kick.
Well,
You
that's what they were saying is the availability has been reduced as well as tweaks have been made of how they perform with attachments. So if you miss, it makes you more vulnerable because now you
Right.
can't fire again. So like I'm happy that that happened. I'm happy that they made some tweaks to it, and it's as they said, it's a learning process, and they weren't anticipating that the wingman and the peacekeeper just being slayers like they were because
The
I
meta of the game, basically. Yeah.
because even though I don't use them, I sure as hell don't want to come up against somebody who is because
We've
Yeah.
been on the other end of that butt whooping.
oh
been on
yeah.
both.
I'll say that.
Been on
uh,
both.
I don't
okay.
know. As far as me using the Peacekeeper and the Wingman, I just recently started using the Peacekeeper again, just a
Okay.
couple days ago. You saw that warrior in the
Yep.
games we were playing. I cleaned up that whole team with that unexpectedly. Just picked it up randomly off the ground, and the gold one was right there for Big Daddy Sinklo to pick up and put in his beautiful hands. And we got ran up by a full team, and just man, that thing didn't work. And I was just like, okay, I still got it, but overall, I'm not really one of those peacekeeper wingman people either. I was in the beginning of the game. I kind of was like really good with it, and now I really suck with it. So I've been kind of gravitating towards different guns and kind of getting back into the peacekeeper because I feel like shotguns are still underrated in that game because a lot of people use the heavies and the 301s and the and the and the what's the other one? The new one, the Havoc,
Oh.
that new energy gun.
Oh.
Um, that's that's in its own lane. I feel right now on the game. Not to get off the
Mm-hmm.
peacekeeper or the wingman, but I feel like the Havoc is the differential gun in that game because if you find someone on your team that is actually good with that gun and knows how to actually use the initial um, what's it called, the wind up or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, like a
What's the attachment
accelerator.
called?
The accelerator.
Accelerator. Yeah, the accelerator.
Yeah.
Like if you know how to use that properly and actually land your shots, that thing does enormous, and I mean enormous amounts of damage. But if
See,
you can have blue, purple, somebody with that enough times that you get downed.
see, I find myself congregating more towards the RE45 handgun. That
Underrated.
that like I've won a few games with that, and usually like a Spitfire. That RE45, it is probably my favorite gun on there, and it's like, what do you guys find yourself like every game you've got to have this at least one of these guns? Like what, Joe? What do you find is the gun you have to have in order to at least have a chance?
A lot of people don't really gravitate towards this gun either. It's not really the most used gun in the game. But I like the alternator. I like the
Okay.
new SMG alternator. And if I could choose something after that, probably another alternator. Probably two alternators for alternate guns, just two alternators.
Gotta
I feel
alternate,
like,
mix it up.
yeah, you gotta alternate to different alternators, exactly. And if
Quint,
I only have two of those, probably a 301.
okay, Quentin, what do you find yourself that in order to have a good game, you're going to have at least this gun?
It's it's a little tough for me, man. I know a Spitfire for me is good because if you know me, you know I love to go with my tar bot, the Pathfinder, just Tarzan around. And I've been pulling some crazy high flanks, man, where I'll be coming right at them though, but I'll be up so high they
Uh huh.
don't know.
Yeah.
And then when you have something like a Spitfire and you have all that ammunition and you can just lay into them real quick, and then even if they start turning around and gunning you down, they're all looking at you, which gives your friends that are right around the corner from the other
Yeah.
side time to move up and hit them from the back. But the Spitfire, man, I love it, but I had to say, man, a gun I'm starting to adapt to, and I mentioned it earlier when we were talking about the Wingman, is that the underrated Hemlock, or the not as good and needs slightly better, just a hair. I'm not asking for it to be, you know, hardcore top tier, but just make it as good as other ones. It's an okay gun,
Hmm.
but yeah, I'd say like you mentioned, that Spitfire is bad. It's bad.
Okay, you had said you had found some information, Quentin, doing some research. So, like, what did you said you had a few questions you wanted to bring forward.
Yeah. I have three today. Three questions for this topic we're on. All right, so I'm gonna start with this first one. Now, if you guys have noticed, in another battle royale game, or a game mode for the Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Blackout, I believe,
Hmm.
um, when they introduced zombies in battle royale, that was kind of crazy. Um, and there was, apparently, I never got to do it, but there was a boss in there. If you defeated him, you got good loot. Now I know Apex Legends takes place in the what's that game called, Titanfall universe.
Yep.
If that's the case, now I understand you used to be able to get Titans in that game, big robots,
Yeah.
and I know there's a lot of robots revolved around this, but I think it would be cool if they ever if they ever make a new map, or change their maps like how Fortnite does, to somewhere in that map, in one or two different locations, maybe a robot of some kind of big, spawns in, who can shoot rockets or something at you. It would take, teamwork to bring him down, but in return you would get a lot of good gear. It would take time to beat him, but it would be worth it. And it's like a risk and reward. You want to take the time to try to do it, and you might get third partied, or who knows that, who might get you. But if you do get him, you're set. You're not really set, but you have a good chance because you
Hmm.
got so much good gear. And what would you guys like to see? Because we know, like I said before, it's centered around robots in the Titanfall universe. But if you guys notice, when you're landing, you see those two giant things in the water. I'm not talking about something
Hey,
that
Blurby.
big, but if there's something like that out there, there's got to be something out there with teeth in the Titanfall universe. So it could
It
be
would
anything.
it would be interesting if.
So
Go ahead, Joe.
about I'm sorry, Wade, go ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
So about those creatures that you actually see, I was just talking about this kind of off stream the other day. And I was actually talking about like the Easter egg. If people didn't know, you find these 10 things on the map, and once you find the 10
Hey,
things on the
Blurby, thank you
map,
for the follow.
you can go to. Hey, Blurby's up in here. That's what's up, man.
Blurby?
Hey, what's going on, Blurby? Thank you for the follow, boss, and welcome to the roundtable, man. But I was just talking about there's an Easter egg, Quentin, that you can get if you find these 10 items, and basically it's the Loch Ness monster. It rolls up in the water and actually comes to the edge of the map, and you get to see it for like a good 30 seconds, and then it goes back down. It's like a little Easter egg they put in the game. So
Okay.
I think that's what those big creatures are kind of associated with, is like the Loch Ness monster. Um, but as far as like a different aspect of like how to get loot in the game, I think that'd be cool because it
Yeah.
give it like a bigger dynamic of something everyone has to go for on the map. I mean, I know there's care packages and all that, but like that's just kind of like a raid kind of thing, like get everybody like together as your team and try to take it down before other teams approach. That would be like something interesting. Maybe give the game a different dynamic. We just actually touched bases yesterday about the maps.
Hmm.
How you were saying like how Fortnite changes maps and stuff like that. I've always noticed, if you've ever noticed, in the loading screens of Apex, it says the canyons.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, why would they name it the canyons if they weren't going to have like maybe other additions to the map, or maybe a different, kind of map? Like right now, we're in the location of the canyons. Who knows when the season pass comes out if we don't get another map and it's somewhere else
Yeah.
in the Titanfall universe that they have, like, because I figured like it's like kind of like PUBG, where like you can pick and choose if you want to be on the canyons, or if you want to be on the snow map, or if you want to be on the original OG map. You get that pick or choose in the game. Fortnite kind of just does it as a big update. I'd like to see Apex maybe come out with. I'm not saying the map's getting boring and there isn't like a whole dynamic to the map now, but I would like to see like other dynamic things in the game queue for like maybe stuff like you were talking about for like loot, new maps, stuff like that. But that's what the season pass is for. We'll be finding that out real soon.
Like, I would be up for them introducing the Titans into the game, as long as they spawn them in different areas. Like, it's not like they spawn in the swamp every single map, because then that's just going to congregate everybody to that swamp every single time, and I think that would kind of ruin the uh, surprise of the game. Like, okay, well, you drop, but you know, at some point or another, the robot is going to about maybe 20 minutes into the game, or I'm sorry, 20 people into the game, then it's introduced in. It's not at the beginning. It would be hard to implement, but it would be interesting. Yeah, gold shields are definitely OP, and it's just something different that they could introduce.
I don't want to talk about gold shields.
I bet you don't.
Well,
here talk about gold shields.
Here's something that they did say that they were going to. It was found in the hidden code. I don't know how reputable it is. It's by Apex Game Info. That they're going to be introducing a raid mode as well as a free for all mode. Now, again, take this with a grain of salt, because they said they're not sure if it's from a reputable source, but it's going to be a free for all and a capture the flag mode, which is what the raid mode is going to be. What do you guys think of those? They introducing that into the game.
I mean, it's hard for me to say personally. I can't really imagine right now or grasp how crazy it would be with all these characters and all these different abilities. Like for a capture the flag, I feel like they would have to maybe find a way to like not put Wraith in it, just portal to portal. It'd be really weird.
Yeah.
Unless the maps were like really far away. I don't know. Wraith in a situation like that could be kind of groundbreaking. Now the raids, that could be good. I don't know what to think about that. They could do so much.
That could be cool. That could be cool. I kind of team to have an objective going after and doing that. So that would be cool. I would I could see him like putting a flag up on top of a balloon, maybe like how you go up and you have to grab it, and like what I mean. And maybe it's like in the center of the map. First one to get the flag has to take it to a certain part of the map to win a capture, and maybe they'll break it down by doing like I don't know, like how they do in Fortnite. They do that 50 and 50 or whatever it is. Like 50 on one side of the map and then 50 on another side of the map, and then your team has to try to get to the middle of the map to maybe get up on that balloon and grab it and try to like paintball, but like how like bring it back to your base, kind of like capture the flag, but different. One particular place in the map in the center of the map, and then have everybody go at it. Split the map off. Like half the team land in like the desert part of the map, and then half the other teams land like and then complete freaking chaos. Out of that because it'd be crazy. Think about Bloodhound. Give me the strength, and he's gone.
Yep.
I mean, look at the robot. You could just freaking zip line across the way with the flag, dude. You'd be like the runner, Buzz. You'd be zip line out. Gone.
Every 7 seconds of me zip line out, I'm gone. That's true.
Okay. What else? You said you had 3, Buzz or Quentin. Sorry.
All right. Let's go with so if you guys like would so they talked about, we already know we're getting Octane, right?
Yes.
That's already confirmed?
Yes.
What would be a type of legend that you think would be needed in the game And what would be a type of legend that you would personally like to see? And by personally, I mean, like, for instance, when I played a game like Borderlands, I'm a stout dude. I like Vikings. I like melee. I like to punch stuff, So I like to play as Brick when he uses his ultimate. I'd like to see. I know we have Bloodhound, who comes from a Norse type of thing. You can tell when she's when he or she. It's hard to say. They count as non-binary on their character profile, but they mentioned the Allfather a lot, which is Odin. So I personally would like to see a melee-oriented character that has some sort of shield, maybe, and some sort of, I don't know, melee weapon. So that way, if they do go in for melee, they can either have no shield with a melee with increased speed, or they can have a shield with the same speed, and that shield can only block frontal attacks. That way, because if somebody's running up on you with a shield and you can't hurt them, yeah, that's a little broken. But the shield, you'd have to be directly going at them. If they can sidestep you, they have a chance. It'd be kind of hard to say. 'Cause there'd be a lot of balancing issues there too, especially if you get into a small building. I don't know. It's hard to say how that'd work, but I just like a melee character. That
Okay.
with an ultimate. That's just me.
That'd be interesting. It'd definitely be an interesting introduction into the game.
I'd like to see throwing knives. I think that'd be cool. I think they should add more throwables. Not necessarily something like an arc star or grenade, but like maybe just something like different. That maybe like a, I'm not saying like an OP stun or something like that, but something down your enemy besides your special.
Yeah.
Because we've all gotten to those engagements where like we want to use our special or we don't have it yet, and like a team rolls up and then you're screwed. I mean, yeah, you have your passive abilities to work with you as far as like people go, but I'd like to see maybe like a stunning grenade or just something that can slow them down, particularly without having to use an ultimate ability right off the rip.
Yeah.
I'd like to see um, maybe like a kind of like a EMP kind of thing, not to like rock off a Call of Duty or anything, but get like a EMP with an EMP line out right away, or he can't put a zip line, for instance, or Bloodhound can't use his all father, or you can't use your bombardment for something to counteract everything, but not be too OP at the same time. I think that would be like a cool, different pace to the game. Not to slow the game down, because everybody's all about that pace. It's fast, it's momentum, it's hot in your face, but give it just a slower dynamic. For those long, late, grueling third-party fights. That can come in huge when you're getting third-partied. Throw a freaking EMP down between two teams, and they can't use their abilities right away, and you run up.
Yeah.
You know,
That'd be cool.
that's something I would like.
Yeah, it's
like I said, a throwing knife, because Bloodhound's got the for the final like ability thing. He throws a knife at you. I would love to see like a throwing knife in the game.
Well,
and something like that.
As for characters that I would like them to get more of into the game, more recon, like Bloodhound. Like they need more recon. Like they only have one, but they have two attackers, or even more than two attackers, and two defensive players, but they only have one recon player. I want more recon players in the game, and because you play Bloodhound, but I want to play recon too. Like I want to, two recons, one defense. That would make for a better game. But what they're expecting is one defense, one recon, one attackers. And so I think if they introduced another recon into the game, that would be good. I'd like to see that. And that's what I'm hoping, that this new player that they're introducing into it. It doesn't show him as being a recon though. It shows him as being. I don't even know what the hell that symbol is.
I have a little bit of leaked information on the new character. I don't really want to say it's like take it with a grain of salt as well.
Yep.
I've heard. I shared the video with you, Warrior.
Yep.
off that dude, from what I remember what he was saying in the beginning of the video, um, this character is actually supposed to go off your health.
Yeah,
Something,
yeah.
something with your health and its ability. Like it's basically like it drains a little bit of your health
Um,
for its ability or something like that. And I said, I don't know if this is 100% confirmed. This was a leaked video that I watched. And there are different characters coming. As far as how many, I don't know. I think
there are.
as far as like what you want for like the recon, I think what they do is like pick or choose Bloodhound or the other one. I think they might have like restrictions on like
Yeah, what?
two people think you know, so you have to pick somebody else. I think they might have to do it like if they do add another recon, maybe they'll do it like okay, you can only do one recon and you know no two recons in the same team. I don't know if they'll let you do that, but if they do, that'd be cool. But they might not. So like another one would be cool. Not have to choose Bloodhound. If people do use Bloodhound, to be honest, I don't use anybody but you guys know this. It's
Yeah.
the only guy I use. I haven't found a suitable second character for me. I've tried multiple people and it's just not. It doesn't mesh well with me.
Yeah,
But
what you were talking about is the Adrenaline Junkie, which you move for 30% faster for 8 seconds at a 10% health damage. But with Swift Mend, you rebuild health over time. And then his special is a launch pad, so that you can get to those high spots when you're not the robot. So that
yeah, I forgot about that. The launch pad. What do you think about that? That's my question.
I know.
Do you,
Like
do you
you
think
you
it's
said
gonna
how.
break the game?
Yeah, I
Or do
know.
you think it's gonna help the game?
And you had asked how many legends. There's going to be 8 new legends. Yeah, a list of 8 new legends that are going to be introduced. So that's touching on that one. I don't think it'll break the game. I think it'll help out because the robot can go up so high, but he's the only person, unless you shoot out the zip line, for everybody to be able to do that. So I think it giving someone who doesn't want to play him an opportunity to still get up there and take him out, as well as teams who have the high ground. So
Okay, I can see it being like that. That's a different way to look at it. I just don't want it to become like not the name drop again. I don't want it to become like another Fortnite where they start adding stuff to the game and then it breaks it.
yeah.
Like
Well,
I don't want them to put too much into it, put good content into it, but like I don't want them to break the game.
now what do you
See,
think?
my thing is like a jump pad would be different, but I just feel like it's not needed, in my opinion.
Buzz, what do you think? Sorry, like we get on these conversations and we got everybody out here, so sorry
No,
about that.
yeah, I understand. No, because he's putting in some good information there, and I'm trying to think of ways. Like he says, he don't want it to break it, and that's true. There are a lot of occasions where games add in stuff, and you are eventually going to find something that breaks the game.
Yeah.
But then that's why we come in as a community and we put our input and they fix it. Now, uh, when it comes to a jump pad on here, I mean, I see the benefits of if you can't play as Pathfinder because I'll probably steal it from you,
Hmm.
uh, then you can't get around as as good as I can, all stylish and stuff. But now that would help other people who want to get to higher places. I've been on ledges plenty of times that other people can't reach because I'm playing as Pathfinder.
Yep.
Um, but in certain situations though, for the most part of the way the game works, you can get places with the climbing mechanics that they do have in here.
Hmm.
You just gotta depending on the spot, you gotta find the right spot to climb. If they do introduce maybe some sort of jump pad, if not maybe as like not as a special, if maybe an item you can pick up that's limited to how many times you can
Mm.
jump off of it. Now, not super high. I mean, it could be a special. I mean, who knows? But if not, maybe too crazy. But it's just limited. Like if somebody on your team uses it so many times, it's gonna break.
Yeah. See,
Um,
that part
it's
don't
hard to
know if
say.
I don't know if I'd be able to get behind that because that would remind me too much of Fortnite and their
Oh,
jump
does the Fortnite
pads.
one break? Yeah.
That's
Like
what I'm saying.
Like if they
Well,
it being designated to one character, but your team being able to use it, as well as the other teams being able to use it for a short period of time, that I could get behind. But finding it in the map, I don't know about that one. That would
yeah,
be
that's why I'm kind of like iffy about that because it's just hard to say how that would work.
yeah.
Now I don't know what you guys are like picturing when you think jump pad. For me, I know the one on Fortnite is the one, when you hit it, you can go way up and you're
Hmm.
hitting your parachute and stuff again. But I was more along the lines of thinking like, it can shoot you up pretty good, and you get into this animation to where instead of kind of like flying like you normally do, you can kind of just get up to really higher spots. Like I know there's a building. I found a building. I believe if I'm correct, depending on how the map looks. I believe it's somewhere in the desert area.
Yeah.
There's this building that I found multiple times that has the robot ticks with the loot. I've found legendaries and purples up there. And it has doors, like doorways, but no doors are ever there. So the only one I've been able to find get up there is a Pathfinder. In situations like that, I think, if your team's not running a Pathfinder, that's a legendary or a purple tick you just can't hit, and it's just there, and then you gotta feel sad about it.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it's it would, like I said, it would be very difficult for them to implement that without breaking the game.
yeah,
And that's the one thing. Like, I don't want them. I don't want the game to be broken. Like, and then have people complaining about it. Which is what I don't know. It could be done. It could be done the right way. Um, let's just hope that whenever they do implement it, it is implemented the correct way and not the wrong way, and which is then is
yeah.
going to turn people against the game. So.
And if they do, that's why we getting together as a community and we try to
Hmm.
find a way to balance it out. And everything it take a little time when you're coming out with new ideas for a game. You're trying to keep it popping. Trying to keep it going. That way people keep playing. You get new people to play. You got to find out right balance to where everybody can kind of get behind, because you're always going to have somebody with different inputs and how they feel about
Yeah.
what needs to be nerfed or what people love, and it's always difficult. But at some point, you eventually learn to evolve with it. You adapt to it.
Yeah. And here's that segues fairly good into this, I think, because playing it on Xbox is a lot different than playing it on PC, and it's a lot different than playing it on PS4. Um, it's been leaked that uh, cross-platform is going to become possible in the future. I'm not happy about that at all. At
I'm
all.
like iffy. I'm like iffy because if there's an option to choose. Now I'm not sure. I heard there was another battle royale game somewhere out there. I can't remember what. I believe one of my friends was talking about it. That you could set an option to do like a cross-platform type deal. And if they
Realm Royale gives you that option.
All right, so yeah, if there's an option like that, that's cool. But the thing about making a cross-platform, what makes it so scary is depending on what the other platform is. Because if we're going against PC players,
Skill gap.
Xbox, yeah, not only does a skill gap kick in, but
Oh man,
the accuracy of see, I remember when I first started playing on a mouse, it was
I can
uncomfortable, but I noticed that my aim wasn't too bad for just starting.
Yep.
So this is what I think they would have to do. Is if they do introduce cross-platform, Xbox get on the ball and give us our little customized mouses and keyboards you were going to give us. Please hurry up with that project. That's the only thing I could think of. If they force it like that, but it's okay. I think it'll be okay if they make it where it's optional. If you want to stay with your preferred console or your platform, or if you just want to go off the wall and see if you have what it takes to handle with the top dogs on Steam, then go for it.
Yeah.
so
Go
what
ahead.
I think they're gonna do is because I've heard multiple people talk about this, other streamers, and I ain't name drop anybody because they know more. We're just the smaller guys in the totem pole. But they were saying they're probably only gonna like where like Xbox and PS4 are crossed and not PC because there would be too big of a. I mean, let's be honest. It's like PUBG for kids who play on mobile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like mobile stays with mobile. It's all like that. But even when you play with Xbox people, you can literally play with somebody that's playing from their cell phone, and I don't like that. So if they do like implement the cross-platform, I would like only to see Xbox and PS4. Not to be knocking PC, but PC is a whole different realm of gameplay and content and overall feel of games, and that's just not with Apex. That's with everything. Fortnite, PUBG, every battle, Blackout, everything is better on PC. I'm putting it out there. Not to knock any consoles. Xbox, I'm sorry, I love you, but you ain't doing your job.
Well, well, there's
That's what I think. Keep it with PS4 and Xbox. I can handle that. But
there's a reason that there's a reason everything is a lot better, like, a lot smoother and everything on a computer. It's because all these games are developed on a computer, so it
right.
makes sense that that they would be better on the computer. Um, I don't want it to be the cross-platform. Like if they did it the way you had said, PS4 and Xbox. Not that that will ever be the case. What I think it's going to be is computer and PS4, and then computer and Xbox, because Microsoft and Sony, I don't see them ever working together to allow a game to be cross-platform.
Yeah.
So because of them being competitors, computers, there's the PC Master Race. There is no competition with PC gaming. The main championships for all ESL and ESA will always be computer. So that's why I see that the cross-platform can happen there, but it won't happen between Xbox and PlayStation. So it's going to suck if they allow computers and Xbox to cross-platform, because at that point, that's what's going to probably veer me more away from it, because you don't have a chance. Yeah, you don't have a chance.
I know. I've seen it.
when I can set my DPI to 2,000 or 800 to get it to move, I'm moving a foot and it's only, moving 3 inches left and right. Or I can have it at my DPI at 2,000 and I move it an inch and it's doing 180 degrees. You don't have a chance whenever there's the input lag from the controller into the game. I don't see that happens.
May I ask a question?
Well, of course. Okay.
What does DPI mean? I'm not that much of a nerd.
It's just I don't know what it stands for, but you can increase your DPI. Lower DPI means if you move from the center of your mouse or the mouse pad to the left. We'll say you're using a small mouse pad. You can have it to where it only goes 90 degrees, but you can also jack it so high that whenever you move it to the edge, you've already done a completely 360 degree turn. So it's the sensitivity in essence.
And I think I know what you're talking about, because the mouse I have right here, just clicking this button, you'll see that the lights actually change. Blue is about comfortable for me, but if I click it again, if I just move it a little bit, it's gonna go it's gonna go flying that way.
Yep.
So I didn't know what it's called, the DPI, as you said, but I think I have an understanding of what you're talking about.
See, like with I have a mouse, a Razer Naga, and if I click it completely up, I can go to 2500 DPI, and I literally can only move it maybe a half an inch before it is completely turned 180 degrees.
You're like everywhere.
Yeah,
it's crazy how you can do that with just a click of a button.
But see, with CSGO, whenever I'm playing, I'll knock it down to 200, and that way I can peek out of a corner, and I'm not going to move more than 1 inch on my screen, so that I'm going to stay on point. So if they allow that to come into play with this game, that's going to turn me away from it quite a bit. So I hope they don't, but the cross platforms is going to be implemented at some point. So I guess we have that to look forward to in the future. And I just don't break the game. That's all I can say.
I had a question.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember it, because we talked about so much when I had that question. It kind of just drifted off into the Netherlands.
Yep.
Over there. Hold on, I'm trying to get it. I'll come back. What was it? Oh yeah, if they could have added something to the game, like people want solos, duos, and trios. Like I think that does need to happen, but like if they didn't add something to the game besides that, like I'm just saying in general, if there's something that they could have added to the game, like that's not in it right now, what's one thing that you would have wished you could have saw in the game to maybe either help it or just make it slightly different? What
Well,
would
That's a
that be?
tough one. Oh boy,
That was the question I had.
well,
that's a good one.
there's something that is going to be. Again, these are all leaks, so if any of this is wrong, I apologize. It's just it's something that I see that was leaked, and it could make the game better. They're trying to implement hover bikes. I could get behind that, because if you're far back in the zone and you need to get out and you're not going to make it out, but if they're going to implement something like that, they need to make that zone hit hard, like to where if you don't find that bike, you're done. So if they're going to do that, they need to make a zone hit twice as hard, 3 times as hard.
What do you mean twice as hard?
Yeah, I know, but if you're implementing something that large on that large scale, and I wish they would have implemented something like that. Like, okay, you can get onto the plane, the plane, the spawn plane or whatever the hell it is, and it because it's flying around the map, you can get you can get on the loot ship, and because it's flying around, then you can jump off in another area. That would be cool. So, if they allowed you to do something like that, or give you the option to respawn. Like if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you respawn, but you're respawning with nothing. So you gotta like drop somewhere else in the map. I mean, that could be something. Just throwing it out there.
What about you, Buzz? I see you over there working your wheels through your mind, brother.
Yeah, these gears are turning, man, but just nothing's coming. Something just kind of hit me that I don't know. It just something I'd like to occur every now and then. I don't know. I just think it would be crazy that if you play on a certain map all the time, like this also goes with new maps coming out and stuff, but something that would mix it up, weather cycles or something. I don't know,
Okay.
something crazy.
I thought
Weather
I was the
cycle.
only one to think about that.
Like-
Man, I would
Oh.
love to see.
Hold on, guys. We have Blurby put something up here. He wants to show us. I'm gonna throw it on my screen. I don't know if everybody's watching mine.
Reloading. Downed another. Reloading. Killed an enemy. 1 second.
I'm the best, dude. I'm the best.
1v3. Nice. Way to go. That Mastiff did some work.
It's too short for some reason.
Hey, that doesn't surprise me. Burby's the man.
Hey, no, I got the idea of it. You got 2 of them. I didn't see the third, but you definitely did work. See, that's the
Congratulations on that W.
the Mastiff. I've not tried it. Like I think I've had it 1 time in the entire game. So you seem to be a lot better at it than I am with that.
There's been times when I've used it, I felt like, I've done good with it, but then sometimes I pick it up and I'm like, the Mastiff. Ain't nobody gonna mess with me. Not up close. And then I get so overconfident, I fall. I'm like, oh no. I've like the power in my hands, and then it just gets taken away from me.
Well, so you didn't come up with anything yet, Quentin, about what they could have implemented to make it better?
Weather cycles.
Oh,
Yeah, that's about all I can think. Maybe if you hit in the desert, just anywhere between nothing to slight dust here and there to occasional
sandstorms.
Yeah, not like a full-on raging sandstorm because it's not an actual complete desert, but something to make it a little bit more harder to see for snipers, so it
Like
can
a
kind of
visual.
like if you
A
love
visual
sniping,
thing.
if you love sniping in the desert, and then look at that, you can't see far because it mixes the game. It forces players to kind of step out of their element in a way and try to adapt to become the ultimate, apex predator.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. So Bloody in the stream says, it's so good, I'll never not pick it up now, but you have to hit fire only. It broke a gold shield in one shot.
Damn.
Yeah, it don't surprise me. That gun's
Damn.
I
fire.
did see a guy in a random game I was in last week pick that damn thing up and he cleaned up a whole squad in one shot. Like,
Really?
whatever he had on, just bang.
Well, this was the last thing that I had found again,
Like you pick it up.
and this is something that'll definitely make you happy, Joe. With what another, yeah, it'll make you. A data miner found 2 lines of code in Apex Legends game files, which sparked,
Legs.
huh?
New legs. I'm just kidding.
New
Oh my god.
ranked play. Yep,
Yo,
they're,
there we go.
they're introducing ranked play.
I'm sold. Where's my wallet? Where's my wallet? I'm paying so it's free, but I'll give you money to put that in.
Alright, then. What's good?
Yep,
Rank, let's go. Let's go.
ranked play display enabled, ranked play voice enabled. So it is.
Voice enabled, huh?
Yep. Yeah, it's just allowing for in-game voice, but the ranked play will be coming in at some point.
You just nailed it.
I'm down.
That's what I would like to. I would love to see an old school perk in the game. Not many people remember this, but Call of Duty, the first one, Modern Warfare, they had a perk called Eavesdrop, to where this was some like next technology type of thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where you can literally hear the teams talking through your head. Them to ping chat into the game, but have a character that like when you said the battle chat or whatever it's called, that made me think like I would love to see a perk like that into the game to where we can hear everybody, and if we are getting close to a squad, we can actually hear them. Hey, they're over
That would
here.
be something.
See, there's a thing about that though. Like, that idea is actually pretty cool. You know, I'd get behind that. But the thing that would make that a little messed up is a lot of people tend to use other sources now of communication,
That's
like
exactly what Blurby just said.
like
in the
party
chat.
chat and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
He said it was only good back in the day because everyone used chat now, and everybody on Xbox One basically uses a party. And I
Yeah.
get it, but that gives it a different element of the game when you got other squads talking. Screw you, man! You suck, bro, or whatever. You know, it just
I
gives
mean,
you.
yeah, you get those. Yeah.
Like, oh, you want to talk? I'm coming to get you.
Keep talking. I can almost hear you.
Yeah, you know, but
Well, see,
I feel it.
well, see, some of that in-game chat is toxic, and that's what we were trying to steer. We were trying to steer away from any bringing up any negativities about this one, because our past 2 we've pretty well run some games into the ground, and we because Apex is such a
Different vibe.
yeah, and I like to stay positive about the whole Apex Legends game.
I feel
The
it.
only negative I have for it, Mozambique, give it 5 bullets. That's all I want. Give it 5 bullets.
Yep.
Give it 5 bullets. Now use it all day and prove to people that it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they allow you to have a larger mag on the wingman and every other gun, but for that gun itself, they don't allow you to have a bigger mag. They need to that would be nice to see them implement. Okay, with you getting a gold mag, okay, now you have 6 rounds or 7 rounds. That would be cool.
Right.
And, the basic one gives you 1 extra round. The blue gives you 2 extra. The gold, the purple gives you 3. The gold gives you 4 extra. Give you
That would be cool.
a damn.
look,
That would be cool.
That's like I said one time when I was playing with Synclo and them. There has been a time, or multiple actually, where I've landed in a group full of enemies, and I'm running, and my squad's there. We're like, we gotta find a gun, and they got guns, and I'm like, I ain't got a gun. And they're like, dude, you just ran past Mozambique. I said, I need a gun. I'm
That
out.
was me.
Punch
That was me.
Yeah, I said, that ain't a gun.
Yeah.
Just leave that there.
Yeah.
I run past it all the time, man.
Allow players to pick up a rock and at least throw a rock at somebody. That Mozambique, you'd have better luck throwing your arm at them.
Yeah. Catch his hands.
No, okay,
Good
but
God.
for someone that was giving the support and sponsored the Mozambique for a couple of weeks when I was playing, I was sponsoring that gun for a couple of weeks. You guys heard me say it. Like, that gun was, it's amazing, guys. It's don't about. I'm telling you, if you land all 3 of those bullets, it really does some damage to the player. I'm telling you, you gotta hit those bullets right though, and it's gotta be close up. But I'm telling you, you hit those. Why? Because think about it. Why would they put a gun in the game that only has 3 bullets? And why does nobody use it? Because nobody wants to use it because they don't know how to use it. I'm telling you, you land those 3 shots. I will let you do it on me in a game. I will literally try to get in your game and be like, I hit you with Mozambique, shoot me. And just land those 3 shots.
Megan says, do you guys have a favorite character to use, all of you? Mine?
Yes, I do, friend.
Mine is definitely going to be... Mine's Gibraltar.
Yo, you did that on point, Quentin. Sit right out, friend. This guy.
I'm going to
I
kill
use-
you now. Literally, when he said, I'm like, whoa, this is a very brutal robot. I like
I
it.
use Bloodhound, but I really need to find a number 2 because I kind of want to change up my style. Like I like playing like I do because it's getting me
Wraith?
to be more aggressive. But I need something else. I feel like I'm getting kind of one-sided on the game, and this is just from my experience. Like, I'm good with Bloodhound. I do decently with him, but like I said, I want to not be one-sided on the game. I want to have a different experience and try new people. I just haven't found that thing I'm looking for. Maybe Wraith is the closest to Bloodhound, and you don't like her words, and she's not really your cup of tea. Wraith could be a person I would use. Yeah, Brandon, I know you use Wraith and I think it's Bangalore on PS4.
Bangalore? Yeah.
But I definitely need a different character for that. But I use Bloodhound. Bloodhound's like you were doing good with the robot the other day, where you were real good with the war. I was actually surprised because that's not usually your play style, you know? And
Yeah.
You were kicking ass. You got him, like instant, got him, like, oh shit, he was getting him.
Yeah, that was fun
Yeah.
doing. Mine is Bangalore, or not Bangalore, but
Gibraltar?
Gibraltar. That's him, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's only because I like his special. So
I think your name just works good with him because, he kind of got that whole vibe. He got that little shield. He hits that melee. Warrior King Craw.
I'm really good at maneuvering out of from back and shot things like I did back in the day. Like, I'm really good at that, like, especially with the sliding and to be able just to throw down that shield and have that bubble for that 15 seconds and get out of dodge and not get touched by anything.
yeah,
That was a big, huge factor for me that I didn't even really think about until I used him.
oh
And
yeah.
that's why I knew
That-
why you'd be like, damn, now I know why.
Yesterday that bubble would have come in quite handy. We would have.
I don't want to talk
What?
about that. I don't know what he was doing. Try not to run. Try not to put your shield up when it was more like it.
Oh my God.
We were in a 3v3 situation. We had killed the 3rd squad in a game. They were literally, it was the same position we were in before last week, where a team was getting pushed by the storm, and all they had to literally do was come flow us. They had nowhere to go. And we had a whole open area, high top hill space, that we had the upper advantage, and they had to come to us. And there was either a care package or they called something, and we backed the whole thing. We took it all. and we got to our position. We killed one team, and we were like, all right, let's get this high ground. The circle's got to go on them. All he had to do was throw his shield down, and we would have had the cover to be where we needed to be. And he was like, oh, I don't know what was going on in his head. He's like, what do you mean? Throw your shield. We kept screaming at him, throw your shield down. What are you doing? Throw your shield down. What are you doing? And then all of them rushed up after me, and he died.
Yeah, and then at the end, his response was, I'm like, oh, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
That's what he said. I'm so sorry. I was just like, run! What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Yeah.
He wasn't happy with that. Well, he quit and he got off. He wasn't too happy. I wasn't trying to be an ass, but like, literally screamed out, like, shield! Put your shield down! What are you doing?
Yeah, fun times.
Oh, man.
But
the heartbreak of games.
that's why. But again, like if I, didn't have to get off, if I didn't have to get into my CS:GO competitive for that night, I would have continued to play because, again, this is the only game that, even whenever I lose them, I still want to continue playing it. So there's not a whole lot of those games anymore that I find myself wanting to continue to play.
Yeah, that makes me sad though, because like, so much variety. And then see, but that's the thing. People want to knock like battle royales and we could have came up with the idea. We didn't. That's you know what I mean. People could have came up. People could have thought of the process of making a new game. But there could be people out there that say, "Oh, well, COD sucks." Well, then that's better.
Thanks for the host, Buzz.
You know what I mean? Like, make something better. If you think like games are trying to compete with other games, it's always been like that. It's been like that before this. Games have always competed with other games. Games have dropped at different times to compete with other games.
Yep.
But that's what the gaming industry does. But to say one game is going to kill another game, that's all because of this social media stuff. Everybody wants to get their 2 cents in and has their own little entitled opinion. Everybody's has their opinion, but that's what I think people forget most of all, Warrior and Buzz, is like, back in the day, we didn't think about none of this extra stuff. We just gamed.
Yep.
That's all we did. We didn't have party chats, and we didn't have all this extra drama, or these e-girls, or e-guys, and Twitter beefs, and YouTube beefs, and all this extra. That's what I call it, extra, because it's not about that. It's about having a good time with your friends, getting down and kicking some really gritty ass like you should be doing. Not bickering and bitching on who's the best or what's gonna kill this or what's gonna kill that. Everybody's got their preference.
Well, like going off what you had said, if like you could have developed something like that, and one of my friends on Steam, he wasn't liking what was out there, so he went out and he developed a game which is now available on Steam. If anybody wants a good horror game, it's called Beyond. I would highly recommend it. It's great.
You were telling me about that.
It's a great horror game. He wasn't happy with what he was playing, so he developed his own game. Now, this is a guy who had no training on making a game, but
taking the initiative.
Exactly. He developed it. I mean, it has now, mind you, being that it is developed by a guy who didn't have a lot of coding experience. He learned. He had people coming into his channel, telling him, do this, and he developed it. It's a great horror-based computer game. So anybody who wants a horror game, I recommend it. I think it's like $8 on Steam or something like that, or $5.
Man, that's not bad at all.
No, I mean he ain't trying to make it be rich or anything like that.
So would that be considered an indie game?
Yeah, it's an indie game.
Indie? That's what you would consider that?
His name's Biker Dad. He developed it. He called us the
Biker. I think I used to be in this community. I kind of didn't really treat them very well.
But the name of the company that made it is Tired Dad Gaming. It's a good game.
Did
and
you
so
say Hired Dad Gaming?
Tired, Tired, Tired Dad.
Oh, tired. Though. He's putting in
Yeah, like-
work. He's obviously tired. Shoot.
But yeah, so he took
That's
the
pretty
initiative.
cool.
I didn't take the initiative and develop a battle royale, and I'm not about to now. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I don't have time.
But all I was saying on that end is like, like somebody could have did that. Like if you're not happy with it, change, man. Change the cycle of stuff, man. Like,
Yep.
I don't get it.
But
I
hey,
don't get it.
it is what it is. I mean, I'm enjoying the community, the Apex community. It's fun. I don't really care. Like everybody keeps saying it's a Fortnite killer. That's not going to ever happen. I don't see a lot of. I don't care about high-end streamers getting on it and boosting it up. It'll level out after a while. And yes, I completely understand that, but I can honestly say that this is a game that from the beginning up till now has made me happy to play it. I can't say that about the other games that I've been playing, and this is free, and I've dropped money on other games, and the last two Gamers Roundtables, we have covered 2 of them, and I'm unhappy with the product. I don't know about you guys, but I'm happy that a free game is overtaking games you have to pay for. So it's just showing the developers that you don't have to sell a game for $60 then a $50 season pass to succeed. You can release a free game, and then even if your season pass for every season every 3 months is $10, you can still be successful. That's my opinion on it. That's my diatribe. Now I'll get off my stump. So, I mean, so y'all, you guys have anything else you'd like to cover?
I
I actually have a third.
Oh, beautiful. Let's go.
All right, so the third was something that I'd seen, and now I never got as a kid. I never got to play the original Resident Evil 2,
Okay.
and then I heard out of nowhere that they've actually had this happening, but it's just hit me really late. That the mobile version of a battle royale game called PUBG did a collaboration with Resident Evil 2 in celebration of their remake that came out. And to be honest with you, it kind of blew my mind because it kept the somewhat of the same play style of a battle royale, but threw in some old iconic maps like the Resident Evil 2's notorious RPD station, Raccoon Police Department station.
Yep.
And it's crazy because when I played the remake, and since this is technically my first time in Resident Evil 2, I loved it. Excellent game, by far the best game I paid for so far going into this year. And it blew my mind because it had bosses that I fought from the Resident Evil 2 remake was on PUBG. All the creatures I fought were on there. It was crazy. It added in the vibe of you not just only having to now survive against these infected and these bioorganic weapons or whatever they are. You also have to survive in a battle royale environment. So I was kind of hoping, like I said, hoping. I think it would be cool if other battle royale games would collab with something a little different and offered in a little different pace of a game. Like if it's been out there for a while, like PUBG's been out there longer than Fortnite. It's definitely been out there longer than Apex. I thought,
No.
yeah, and
No.
there was a few others before that.
I'm talking like mainstream though.
The Rust is where that all started. Yeah, he started.
Oh, yeah.
He started.
I forgot about that game.
Yeah, he started that. He started a modded server on Rust, and then he, Brandon Green is who I'm talking about. He started that, and then he got tired of doing that, and that's whenever he moved, I guess, to Korea, and then he developed PUBG. Yeah. So I mean,
a lot of people played that game too. Never tried it.
Educating
never
me.
played it.
but yeah,
My bad. False information from Synclo. My bad. I thought I was wrong again.
but you were saying, Buzz.
I just I think it would be great because where PUBG's been there, I guess they had a new map drop recently, a snow map or something like that. It might not be new at this point, but I just think it's great that a game like that, it's been out for a while, that it was a change of pace, doing collaboration like this where you're used to the same old thing, and then all of a sudden now what you're used to, once again kind of forces you to get out of what you're, what you didn't got used to and try different things because now you can't just sit there and post up. You might have a zombie creeping on you, then you
Yeah.
got to move. And I'm thinking it'd be cool if they did a little bit of something like that. Like I've heard some people say, and I can kind of see it here and there that at first I kind of got like a Borderlands vibe
Okay.
from Apex when I was in those like slummy looking towns in the desert.
Yeah.
I know there's one specifically in the corner of the desert, and I'm sitting there thinking, yo, I could totally see some psychos, like psycho bandit looking dudes running around with their hatchets, screaming at you, throwing stuff. I'm like, it'd be cool. I mean, right now I'm fine with the way the product is because I'm still having fun with it. But eventually, I want some new stuff. Everybody will eventually want new stuff because they love the game. I love the game. I want to see it continue. But I don't think it necessarily needs a collaboration. But it'd be cool.
What do you
It'd be
guys
real cool.
What do you guys think of them bringing in AI? As like you have the players themselves, but then now you're also having to go against like individual AI who, while you may be able to overtake the third partying, now you have an AI who's also firing at you, and it's not a team of AI; it's just a single AI player who's
That
just
wouldn't surprise me.
that. I think that would be a good twist.
See, I
Didn't
think that
Titanfall
would
1
make
introduce that in a way?
Oh
AI
my.
combatants on the field?
You
never played
better stop with that damn ice pick. I'm telling you.
it.
If you don't know the ice pick story, my wonderful wife, which is Mega Girl Boss, we were in DayZ, and she we were in a house, and there were wolves outside the house, and we were shooting the wolves. Well, I go to walk out the door, and she smacks me in the back of the head with an ice pick and kills me. And her response was, "It's better them to eat you than me."
Savage.
Dang.
And
You told me that I was like, what's going on?
but yeah, like if they introduced some AI into the game, I think that would be pretty damn cool.
That's the thing. It wouldn't surprise me because it's a Titanfall universe, and I don't know about the second game. I did kind of enjoy the first one. I just didn't have a lot of people to play it with, but I know they had AIs on there, and that kind of threw me off in the beginning. I was like, "Am I killing somebody, or is this just false? Like,
Yep.
am I really this good, or what?" But at the same time, I didn't care. I was having fun. It was, I was too caught up in the fact that I'm having to, defend the waves of these guys to even care
Absolutely.
if I was killing a player or not.
Exactly. That's the part that I miss about Titanfall is, they had what player do you play? Buzz. I forget what the hell his name is.
On the first Titanfall,
No, on Apex.
Oh, Pathfinder.
Yeah, they had a lot of Pathfinders there. They were a little bit more difficult to kill. And yes, Titanfall was a great game. I loved that game. And it was, you had to kill a lot of the Pathfinders. And you didn't get anything for it except for points. But then you had players that you were also fighting against. That gave a twist to the game. And I just hope going forward that they introduced some AI. Take for example, Escape from Tarkov. That's a game that you are playing against other players, but you have deadly accurate freaking AI who will blow your gut out, they'll blow your legs out, they'll bust the leg, something like that. But what the AI can do is, bust your shields and then whenever you're running, trying to get away from the AI, then you're going to come up against other players. That could be a nice twist that I could see that would be positive going forward. So, what do you think, Joe?
See, my thing is like if you would add AI into the game, that would kind of necessarily mean like maybe at some point in the game there might be a team that you might have been going after, but all this AI just came out of nowhere. You guys ain't gonna be going for each other no more. You're gonna be teaming together like a 6-man team and try to go. And see, that's where you were talking earlier. Like, what if they did bring in like a big old robot and screw this battle, we got to do this battle. Like that would make the whole game a little different. And then after you're fighting for all the gear, like okay. That would be kind of cool. I could see that like being a different pace to the game and bringing something new and fresh, like a bag of mangoes.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I
It's just
think I would like it.
it'd be
Kind of give me like a Destiny, kind of not to, compare, but that was big on AI, and and you still had those engagements of, you know, people and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And how you said earlier, like the overall feel of the game, Quentin, was like a Borderlands. You're
Yeah.
talking about the buildings with all the tarps and stuff. I know exactly what you're talking about. Right close near the Bone Town, because I played that game almost like grind for hours, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Because when I'm surprised you said that. When I first started playing it, I was like, damn, this kind of reminds me of Borderlands a little bit with the map and how it looks and the dust. And like, I remember that desert stage that you had to be in Borderlands, and it looks identical, like just on a bigger
Mhm.
scale. Like
Yep.
Yeah,
they
it looks
blew
like
it
a
up.
better graphical version of what Borderlands, I guess,
Yeah.
graphics wise, but done better, a lot better. But I think that AI would be cool because it would introduce a new form of teamwork, which the game's all about teamwork. You'd have to decide, hey, like if there's AI, like that bunker somewhere in the middle of the map, everybody likes to land in the bunker.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's racing to the bunker. I'm sitting thinking like it'd be cool if AI would spawn in different spots, certain hot spots, maybe not a lot, maybe a few, who knows? But you'd have to choose. Well, hey, and if you kill them, maybe they drop a good little amount of ammo, so it's kind of worth fighting them. But at the same time, it causes noise, therefore other players might try to get to you. It's always about the risk and reward factor,
Yep.
and you have to worry about, well, there's 4 squads left, and we can take down this squad. Hey, 2 of my guys need ammo. Should I split my ammo with them, or should we engage and all of us get a lot of ammo, but we have to worry about our positioning where we're at?
Yep.
It totally adds in because this game, in my opinion, is so much more team focused, and I
Yes.
think that would be cool. I think
So,
it'd work.
so going from that, like it being a team-focused game, do you think going for a free-for-all would remove it too far from that aspect of what the original goal of the game was?
Well, I'm just gonna say this: I'm gonna see a lot and a lot of Bangalores and Wraiths. That's all I'm gonna see. I
Yep.
mean, you're gonna see some other stuff, of course, but a lot of people who like to play fast and use their abilities to get in and out. Bangalore's ability. Now I know they nerfed Bangalore's ability. I think it's one where she's getting shot at and she can run faster. But situations like that, it just increases the speed of one-on-one engagements. But you're just gonna have people running around like secondary flashes, I guess. And then you gonna have smoke everywhere. Then you have portals everywhere, and you're gonna whole bunch of dead, alive chicks, wraith, whatever's going on with her. But
But it'd be pretty cool to
it's crazy.
if they if you did something like that. I don't know, just as a meme or something like that. Have a lot of wraith, like every team have a wraith, and then just set the portals up in like different areas, and then one person just run through all the portals.
Scooby Doo.
Yes, I guess.
Scooby Doo chasing your target. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't be a
Really?
bad idea, but I mean, there are people out there who want. There are people out there who want that. There are people out there that want 4-man squads and duos, and
Yeah. All right.
I say, I mean, what's the harm? What's the worst that can
I'm
happen? They can
down.
enjoy it, and if they don't like it, they can go play the other ones. I mean, it's all there.
All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab a drink. If you guys want to grab a drink, I'm going to hit an intermission here real quick.
I think I'm good. Well, I'm straight.
Yeah, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna chill with St. Cloud.
Now, Q, let me ask you, man.
Ask me.
So you were talking earlier about like how putting in like a raid or some type of event. See now, this whole rank play aspect. And I'm sorry, I gotta eat some of these damn tacos, man. I've been sitting here looking at this beautiful steak taco next to me, and it's just been sitting here like a beautiful, innocent, sweet baby taco. And it was like, "Eat me, Joe. I'm sitting here for you. Just eat me." So yeah, I would love to see that rank play really come into effect, because it would give the game kind of a break from the sweaties. Not saying that I'm not a sweaty. I ain't gonna lie, I try to play as hard as I can. God, I'm jealous, Warrior. I haven't had a cold Pepsi in months. Woo!
Well, actually, what really got me thinking about how cool it would be, simply was I got this from your stream. I was watching your stream the other day, and I noticed you and two other people were on top of either the rocks or those ponies. You were somewhere in the desert, and you were telling your comrade to throw the artillery strike, throw the smoke or something like that, and he threw it. And where you were such a high altitude, and I believe it was Bangalore's ultimate. When I seen those missiles come in, and then when they started blowing up, I seen really at that point how big it is, and I'm like, you don't see a lot of that on PUBG. I mean, yeah, you get the random missiles sometimes on PUBG, I guess, but they're like kind of randomized in the area. But that right there, if you have raids with either some sort of tougher enemy or a raid with like a lot of smaller enemies, that's one thing I've noticed. The artillery strikes, the fast pace, all the action that goes on can make it look like a war instead of a team fight. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
crazy. And that's one thing I thought looked cool. I just looked at that, I'm like, man, that looked dope. I like that.
Well, I don't know. Anything else, gentlemen? Do we want to?
I don't know. We covered a lot today.
We
And
did.
I actually enjoyed this one more than the last two. Not to knock our last two, we were just kind of getting off the ground rolling with it. But like this one was way more detailed, way more topics, way more, like off the dome, like processes of what we want. What could be added, what should be added. We've covered a lot of leaked things that could be possibly. Again, everybody take that with a grain of salt because this isn't 100% confirmed. They could switch it up on us like, we played you. It's not even gonna be that one. It's gonna be this one. We could be wrong and like, hey, you guys said this. No, we're just letting you know what could be a possibility.
This is Sinclair, are you still sweaty?
Huh?
Are you still sweaty?
Last week? No, I'm not. Actually, a little bit. I'm eating this green salsa and it's kind of hot.
But yeah, like anybody who comes in here, I thank you for being here. But everything we're talking about is literally just stuff that we're finding on the internet. None of it is probably true. It's just we're just three guys who love playing video games and are giving our opinion, and our opinion is exactly that. Like, it's not anything but an opinion. So if we give you false information, we apologize ahead of time, but we're just hoping that we can continue to play these types of games and any other game that we talk about on here, and we just want to like games. So as Sinclair said, take everything with a grain of salt, even whenever it is from a reputable individual. Take it with a grain of salt, and just don't take us at our word. Do your own research, because if we encouraged you to do a little bit more research and try to find some more information, great, then we did our job. That's my thing. If I helped you want to scour the internet and try to prove us wrong, great, you just did something. And please hit me up on my Twitter, hit Joe up on his Twitter, hit Quentin up on his Twitter. Tell us we're wrong, please. We want to be wrong, we want to be right. Let us know what we got right, what we got wrong. If you liked
I'd rather
it,
be wrong and learn.
exactly. So we're gonna do this until we no longer like video games, which I don't see that happening. And if Quentin knows, if it fits into Quentin's schedule, he'll hopefully be here next week.
Yeah, I'd love to, man. This is actually first time doing this. Actually, first time I believe I've ever even been in this type of thing. I've never watched nobody else do it really. So this is my first time into this type of, what we just did, and I actually liked it. It was pretty chill. Felt a little nervous at first because I didn't know how to get none of this started, man. But I tell you what, I really enjoyed this. The topic we talked about, some of the people coming in the stream, asking questions, talking about stories and stuff like it was pretty cool. Definitely enjoyed it, 100%.
And so until next week, this is We have a floating schedule here. Like it start 7. There's 6:30,
My
7.
bad.
No. The 6:30, 7, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You know, we just want to make sure everybody's schedules are meshing together correctly.
Yeah,
So
that might be a little tougher for me. I just never know when I'm really getting home on a Friday due to my job. But I mean, if I can make it though, I'll definitely try to get in on it.
and we'd love to have you. And we don't want you to think this is only going to be just about games. Like, we may change it up at some point. You know, it might be a wrestling roundtable at some point.
That's what I'm trying to do.
So yeah,
You're motivating me to try to get that off the ground. Talking about where it's just I haven't even been watching it enough to, give my input on a lot of things. I mean, I'm up to date on all that, but that is definitely another place that we can go. Like you said, it doesn't necessarily always have to be about gaming. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about.
exactly.
If you guys have something you want to address on, or whatever, if you want to see us cover a certain topic, or you don't want to see us cover a certain topic, let us know. We're trying to give you the best reliable information and content, and just overall, information about these things that we possibly can from three, individual different gamers.
So
That's the goal.
yep. So again, I appreciate everybody stopping by. If you haven't done so, please drop a follow. It'll let you know whenever I go live. I post on Instagram and Twitter when I'm going live. Please stop by Puny Buzz's Twitch channel. Drop a follow, as well as I Am Synclo. Drop a follow. We greatly appreciate your time, and everybody have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Peace out, guys.
Y'all have a good one.
The beanie comes off.
It's hot, bro.
I feel it, bro.
Hey, that was cool. I like that.
Yeah, I've been wanting to take the hat off for a good minute too.
Slick back here. What's good?
Slick back, slick cool. We're trying something new. Yeah. You like it?
It's been a little bit longer though, but you getting there.
Hey man,
I just realized.
I had to cut it for
Playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Christmas. For Christmas, man. Yeah, just like the beard. You see I'm shaved? I'm trying. I'm trying to do better.
I'm leaving something.
Warrior, my man.
Yep.
You're muted.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't hear him either.
No, you're not.
There we go.
That was by far our best one yet. I don't even know when we started, but we just kept going and going and going and going and going and going and going. There was no breaks. It was all information and different things and different, topics. This one by far. We're getting in the groove, man. We're getting in the groove. I like it. Yep. So now next week I'm gonna come prepared with like Quentin. You did the 3-point checklist. I like it, man. You said boom, boom, boom. I made it. Hey.
My goal, bro. I'm writing down the dates for when I can show up and the topic, and I'm gonna try to get at least five things I can talk about in our topic a day.
It's crazy how you did that, because I was literally thinking, I can preparing some topics and content for this stuff, man. I just need to give myself the opportunity. See, what happened was, remember I told you I was getting in the shower, Warrior, and I was going to get non-stream. Well, my neighbor downstairs is going through some stuff. She's paid her rent. She's just kind of in the air with her, so she's been kind of down. So I seen her outside, and I was like, "Hey, you wanna go get some tacos?"